production, we talk about make in India, and not just make for India anymore, make for the world. So now, in your understanding, sir, what are the factors
its interests. The
drivers of
readiness to support Taiwan against prompted and risk of
Taiwan constitute an interference in China's internal affairs and a serious violation of the One China principle and the basic norms governing international relations.
production, we talk about make in India, and not just make for India anymore, make for the world. So now, in your understanding, sir, what are the factors, the drivers of that help India today, position itself as a competitive alternative to global manufacturing hubs, especially how the Indian electrical and power sector is contributing to this shift that we are looking forward to?
Thank you. First of all, I would say that I think India is slowly shifting away from mere competitiveness to a very important milestone, and which is trust. It is moving away from being a mere manufacturer for the world to becoming a partner for the world. And this is what is driving the India growth. This is what is driving the story. And I think this transformation that I can visibly see has come across in the last decade or so, where we were always looked upon as low cost, low quality, low engineering skills, and therefore a very unreliable country where products were coming out from. And this has transformed into high trust, high quality, and a high reliability in terms both of product life as well as in terms of Indians are there, they won't run away from any problem that occurs. And this is what has transformed the outlook of the world. As far as the Indian electrical industry goes, I would say that we have seen that in the 90s, and I would say even early 2000s, we were like, especially in our industry, we were like dogs and Indians not allowed. And we struggled. We set up a manufacturing unit outside India, and we are the only Indian cable company to have a manufacturing unit outside the country. And it's been a very highly well-respected, as well as I would say a very wise decision that we took at that time, though we were advised not to do so. Today, when we see and when we go out, we are welcomed across the world, and people recognize that India is now trustworthy and it is not merely low cost.
And especially how, Ravin Group's expansion into, more than 100 countries, has shown that how it becomes the first, first Indian cable manufacturer to set up a government-partnered facility abroad, sir. And how would you describe, if you could just elaborate on its journey in strengthening, this global factory floor that we are today envisioning?
So yes, it's a matter of pride for us that we set up a unit outside the country 21 years ago. We started the work on it and we commissioned it about 20 odd years ago. the government and the ruler both are partners. We are a notified government company. More than that, we cater to different markets across the world, and today we are seeing there's a turmoil in terms of the relationship with the US, where the Indian companies are saddled with a huge amount of duties. Fortunately, UAE is out of that duty segment, and therefore we are today able to cater to more than 100 countries across the world and almost all the continents of the world. And we are now today a 75-year-old group of companies, and we hold the proud distinction that in our entire journey, we do not have one single reported failure. And that's something which we pride ourselves on. So I say that our journey began with a lot of hard work. It was without recognition. It was, we were treated in a very diffident manner. And now today, when we go, we are welcomed. When we go to meet people across the world, they look forward to. They put us on their websites. When we go, the photographs are put up on the website. So I think all this is credit not just to our group and our ethics and integrity, but it is also a big credit to India and the way the Indian industry has grown, which is now benefiting both industry as well as the country.
Right, sir. Let's talk about, sir, how technology is playing a key role in manufacturing, especially with the quality, with special focus on high quality, sir. Because India, we speak about digitization. We also talk about green tech as well. So automation, digitization, and green technology, sir. How is it really helping to, in fact, deliver globally, benchmarked manufacturing output from the country?
So I would take it one step backward and say that we are seeing, and I say this repeatedly, that this Make in India and what Viksit Bharat we are talking about is not just a slogan, but it is something which is happening practically. We have the pride and the honor to have supplied almost the entire quantum of cables for the Mumbai Metro Underground Line 3. Which would not have been possible earlier because people used to ask for our credentials. Where have you supplied? What have you done? Now, any new product that comes in cannot have a past history. It is something new. It is something new that we've developed. And therefore, technology and something new with technology was something where the industry was scared and perhaps skeptical of bringing in because it would take a very long time to convince people. We can see here Delhi Metro in the first phase, almost 100% of the products were imported from outside the country. And now I think the import of products for the various metro lines that are happening all over the country are being supplied by the Indian companies, and they have adapted this technology. Now, honestly, it's not just, technology is something that perhaps you can innovate or you can copy. Technology is something which you can build with machines. But I think it's a two-step or hand-in-hand process. You can buy new machines, but you can buy the machines with latest technologies, but yet you have to build the skill in your own workforce. So though you can get a lot of foreign machines, and like here we are seeing that, you could have brought in a lot of equipment from across the world, but the people who are running it, the people who are manning it, the people who are working on it are Indians, and they are the skilled people, and that is what we decided that with the technology, and I would honestly admit that our exports across the world did help us build a lot on quality. And we said that why should there be a difference in quality between what we are supplying outside the country and what we are supplying inside the country. So today, if you go to our factories, there is no difference. There is no difference at all in what we are manufacturing for another country, a developed country, and what we are manufacturing for India. And we invite customers, come to our plant any point of time and review what we are manufacturing and see if you can see any difference. Now, quality has changed a lot. Green energy that you are talking about has now become, I think, something which we are all used to, which we all accept. Though initially it was with skepticism when the Prime Minister spoke of solar energy and bringing in 100 gigawatts and of electricity through the solar route, and whether the grid could take it or not. We all have adapted to these new technologies, and I think today India, and I'm happy to say that the Indian electrical industry leads the world in terms of technologies, and we are adapting products to Indian conditions. It's a different ball game altogether when you talk of the challenging Indian environment and the challenging Indian conditions for installations. But we are getting there. Safety is of paramount importance, and fire safety is one of the issues that plague the country. We are yet a country with the highest amount of fires in the world. And we've seen a few days ago what happened in Hong Kong, in a building where I think maybe hundreds of lives were unfortunately lost. And that's something which now we are trying to bring into India. We brought it into India, a technology where your cables, even if there is a fire, you do not need to switch off the electricity, because electricity is a man's best friend. You should not abandon it when you are in trouble. So we bring in the fire survival cables, the fire safe cables. And I'm happy to say that even the Republic studio that we are sitting in here has used a majority of our cables.
Well, that's the trust, sir. In fact, you mentioned about fire safety. Ravin's contribution is something that should be highlighted here, such as fire-resistant cables for Mumbai Metro, very, very important. It actually showcases India's ability to, provide for world-class and reliable, as you mentioned the word reliability, and also scalable industrial solutions for global markets. So how do you feel that, how do you see infrastructure in India? There's a rapid growth, be it the metro lines, be it renewable parks, also in transmission upgrades also. It is actually somewhere reflecting the country's preparedness also. And where does, how do you see Ravin's contributions, if you could just shed further light?
So I think I would first admit that it's the intent of the government, and we heard that, and we've been seeing that the Prime Minister has been talking about upgrading the life and lifestyles of people. And we are seeing that infrastructure today is growing at such a pace where we are not able to cope up. The infrastructure is not able to cope up with the kind of demand that is required for them. And here is where I think I'm happy that the government, and just I read today that the Maharashtra government has yesterday passed cabinet meeting. In their cabinet meeting, they've sanctioned the budget for Pune Metro line for about almost 10,000 crores. The government is trying to stay ahead of the infra game, and that's what is helping the industry. Infrastructure is something that our country yet lacks a lot. Fire safety, as I said, is another thing, but fire safe, as you mentioned very correctly, is an important thing. India loses about, on an average, 73 lives a day in fires, and that's something that is very, very worrisome. I mean, the Indian media has focused a lot on the Hong Kong fires and they're saying about 70 odd lives lost till yesterday and maybe another 200 lives. But here we are losing more than 70 lives a day and there is no highlighting. So I think this is something which government is now taking up, it is focused on. Building infrastructure, building railways, building airports, ports, roadways is one part, but building safe infrastructure is another part. And this is something that I'm very happy that the government is ahead of their game. And they're looking at how they can progress the infrastructure in a faster and more speedier manner. And that's what is helping all of us. When you all built this studio, I'm pretty sure that it was with a vision and an intent in mind that yes, this is going to grow. And I think this is the same way that the infrastructure is going today. There is an intent that we want to make this one of the best and most livable countries in the world. And that's something which, as an industry, we are proud of and we accept, and we are also very happy about, because that's spurring the growth of both the industry and the manufacturing in India.
Right, sir. And sir, when you talk about trust, you talk about reliability, standards, the global standards come in place, compliance to rules and regulations, so as to, bring in that reliability, showcase that reliability comes in. If you could just explain or, your understanding how the Indian industry bodies and the leaders are working towards global trust, building global trust, so as to, by strengthening the safety standards, the quality norms, and the export readiness.
So, again, I would say that the current scenario today is a very vast difference from the scenario earlier. The scenario earlier was to barely be able to meet the standards. I think today, meeting the standards and exceeding them is a given. It's not even in anybody's thought process to violate any standards. But I think today what is happening is that the trust, that reliability, and we want that our products be recognized as world class. As I said, we are not just looking to manufacture or become a manufacturing hub for the world, but we are looking to become a manufacturing partner for the world, and that is a difference, that the mindset in the industry has changed. And exports are something which are now part of DNA of every industry, at least the forward-thinking ones. But I must confess that in 1999, when we started exports from India, we were laughed at. I was told by my industry friends that, are you crazy? Nobody buys Indian products, especially the electrical products, outside India. So don't waste your time. A lot of people have tried, they have failed. You will also fail. And if you fail, you all will be sunk. We followed our gut feel. We said, no, we are confident that we can build that trust, we can build that reliability. And I'm happy to say that from the very first year, from 1999 till about 2014, we were winning the highest exporter of power cables from India award, which helped us tremendously, because the Indian markets were going through turmoil. Sometimes it was a high, sometimes it was a low. We were grappling with a lot of issues, foreign exchange, the foreign exchange rates, as we've all heard, and it's been repeated, that the kind of policies that were there were very highly complex and they were not very exporter friendly. License Raj, you'll get a license for exact quantity, even in that there was corruption. Now it's all become online. The whole matter has become so transparent and so straightforward that everybody is encouraged. And I think whether we should supply into India because there is a huge demand, or whether we should focus on exports. And that's a good choice to be in. As a corporate and as a company, we follow one simple policy. And that's, I keep on saying, last 10 days ago I was at the House of Lords and I spoke and I repeat what I said out there, which is a part of an old song, which is, है प्रीत जहाँ की रीत सदा, मैं गीत वहाँ के गाता हूँ, भारत का रहने वाला हूँ, भारत की बात सुनाता हूँ.
That's very well said, sir. And, we spoke about, Bharat's power of manufacturing. We talked about reliability, standards, infrastructure, technology. Now, let's bring our focus to the workforce, sir. India has one of the largest workforce. It is, India has a young population as well. Now, how much of a focus you feel has been given and should be given, if at all now, if something is left, as to make it, give a push to the skilling of the workforce, the skill transformation, if I may call it, for the manufacturing industry?
So, I'll give you a practical problem that we are facing today. People keep on saying that there is unemployment and, you require to spur industry to hire more people. I make a categorical announcement. Get me the people. We are today in a situation where we don't have enough people. Leave aside skilling. Skilling comes second. First, you need to get a person to skill. And that's what is not happening today. So I as an industry, and a lot of my industry friends agree with me, it's a big problem to get workers. It is a big problem to get staff also. And honestly, in my UAE factory today, before, when we would go out to hire, if we required 10 people, we would be getting 100 people coming for interviews for those 10 posts. Today, when we require 100 people, we get 10 people. So I think India, the workforce, and of course, as I said earlier, you can buy machines, but you'll have to build skills. And I think there is something which I would like India to work on more. We have been associated with a few will-to-skill schemes of the government. The intent of the government is there, but then I think that kind of follow-up action and the results that we should get are somehow yet short of where we should have been. The second thing is, of course, we have to understand that the short-term or short-sightedness will not work. And that is something that, we have always been a country of shortages. And even the workers who were previously, say, getting X amount of money per year, suddenly today if they are getting 3X amount of money, they're satisfied with it. They don't want to look further, they don't want to skill themselves more, and they have to actually be urged to do that. But one good thing, the silver lining on the whole cloud is that we are very, very technically savvy. We are, on the internet, a lot of content. So wherever you go, you see that people are on their phones, they are watching movies, they are watching so many things. They are very technically savvy in in handling and adapting technology. And this is where I think India, with its young force, is at a high advantage. But now they need to move away from mere, I would say, entertainment and come to education and real skilling. This is something which we need to adapt, and this is something where a lot more seriousness needs to come in if we are to compete and overtake China, at least in the next 2 to 3 decades. So this is going to be a big opportunity for us as well as a challenge for us, because the aspirations need to grow, the ambitions need to grow, and at the same time the skill sets need to grow.
Thank you so much, sir. With that, we come to a wrap on this edition of this very special talks. And thank you so much for sharing insights. And we appreciate the Raven Group's contributions to the manufacturing hub that India is becoming now. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very
Big
much.
round of applause for Mr. Karia, please.